viewer, does the phrase media trend ring a bell to you? Oh yes, I'm sure it does. Welcome to Media Trend, your darling program only on Agricultural Research Council of Nigerian Television. My name is Euphemia Ijoma. Let's go on a break. We'll be back. To start this episode, we have Hilda Bassi, a beautiful and talented Nigerian chef, has indeed made Nigerians proud by breaking the Guinness Book of Records for the world's longest cooking marathon. It might interest you to know that the Hawaii bomb lady made Nigerians proud as she broke the world record on longest cooking period, which was 87 hours, 45 minutes and 00 seconds. It was held by Lata Tondon. People who had stayed overnight to witness her break the record could not stop screaming during her live video. Millions of Nigerians, such as politicians, celebrities, and so on, rooted for her seriously. Interestingly, she cooked for 100 hours. Such a strong winner indeed. The things we love to hear, honestly. We are super proud of you, Hilda Bassi from Media Trend.
I think she did a great thing by, giving Nigeria a great name, making us proud, and especially her own state, which is Akwa Ibom. So I think she did a great thing for Nigerian. I think it's a good name to add to our culture and ourselves.
It's a dream, you understand? It's a dream that she's been cooking up in her head. She might have spoken about it to some persons. She might have not. She might just decide to keep it to herself. You understand? Like my uncle used to say, he will tell me like the boast that you have within you is the best. Because in the end, if you can't achieve it, it was between you. You didn't say it to so many persons. When you say it to so much persons, that is it. And I say, oh, he's been boasting about this or she's been boasting about it. At the end, she didn't achieve it. She's been up and doing. If you watch the trend, if you've been following the trend, she has won some other awards through this same cooking and everything. So it's more like a daredevil stuff. Breaking a Guinness record is not a one-day thing. You plan it, you put a whole lot of resources into it, taking into consideration that she's not been paid from the Guinness record keepers and the rest. She's not been paid. So it's a thing that she puts out everything to do, and I will advise everybody, if you want to do something, if you believe you can do it, just go out and do it.
It's a massive achievement, because she took Nigeria into another level. She did something for herself, because you see a lot of youths out there not having goals and all that, but she's inspiring the other females out there, because as of 3 days ago, I saw like 20 of my contacts, Hilda, go Hilda. She's an inspiration to them. And one of my clients was like, I actually joined her course. I'm one of her students and all that. So it's a good motivation for youths out there to put a target and strive to achieve it. It doesn't matter if it takes you 2 years, 3 years to achieve it. It's just like, okay, you come to the gym and you say, okay, I want to get a flat tummy and stuff. It takes time to achieve it. Yes, you fall back, minor setbacks might happen, but with time you achieve that goal. So I appreciate what she did, and it's a good encouragement to the youth out there. So I like what she did, and I'm supporting her all the way.
She just, that's a definition of a woman who knows what she wants. At least she has actually broken the record. And this trophy goes to the whole women all over the world. So it's actually a push that everybody should take, to be persistent in whatever they do to try to achieve. It's not just because you're beautiful and you just go with men and all that. I'm not trying to drag anybody, but this is actually a good one for Nigeria and women in general. Yeah, she did a good job. I'm proud of her.
I'd say she actually did a very nice job, It's not just about cooking. One thing is to cook, another thing is to have stamina to cook. She really did a nice job. A lot of us can't even stay at a particular spot for an hour. How much more being at a particular spot for 100 hours? That's a whole lot. That's about almost 4 days plus. So she actually did really well. Like, I must really commend. That's a very big one to Nigeria.
Let's go. Popular Nigerian singer Seun Kuti, son of the late legend Fela Kuti, turned himself in on Monday, May 15th, after a video of him slapping and pushing a police officer on the 3rd Mainland Bridge in Lagos State went viral. Recall that the Inspector General of Police, Usman Al-Khali Baba, ordered for his arrest on Saturday, May 13th, after a video of him assaulting a police officer. The Lagos State Police Command on Tuesday, May 16th, arraigned Afrobeat musician Seun Kuti before Magistrate Adeola Olatubosu of a magistrate's court sitting in Yaba, Lagos State, on a 1-count charge of assault on a police officer. The police prosecutor S.A. Adebisi told the court that it is an offense contrary to Section 356 of the Nigerian Criminal Code Act and asked the court to grant an order for the police to remand the musician for 21 days pending legal advice from the Directorate of Public Prosecutions. However, Seun's counsel, led by Femi Falana, SAN, begged the court to grant the remand order. He argued that he was not aware of the remand application. The court is currently on recess as the magistrate has asked for time to study the case file.
Police brutality has been happening for a long time, so I'm not really going to say I'm in support of what he did, and because I don't really know what really transpired between him and the police officer. Something must have happened behind the scenes we don't know about. And yes, police, this is not the first time they victimize the youths and all that. Sometimes you go to Guagualada when I'm going to school, they just stop you and search you all of a sudden. A month ago, I was going to attend to a client and boom, they told me to come down from my boat ride to search me if I was carrying contraband. I mean, who does that? So yes, I get why he had to get physical, because something must have happened for him to get to that point where he had to assault the police officer, for them to call him into interrogation. But I'm not in support of beating up a law enforcement officer, but still they should do a proper thorough investigation on what really transpired for him to go to that level.
So actually he's not supposed to slap him. He's supposed to report to the appropriate laws so they can take it into their hand, because there's a law in Nigeria. There's a constitution in Nigeria. So he's supposed to report to them. I know he's a celebrity. He has, police can sometimes not act well, but he's supposed to report to the appropriate law so they can take right measures against that.
I don't know what transpired, what happened, but most of these celebrities, sorry to say, regardless wherever you are in the social status, you don't just obey the law, go through the process and do the right thing, get a lawyer or something. You don't just take laws into your hand and think you are above the law because you're a celebrity and all that. It's wrong. It's a wrong one for me. If I happen to be him, I won't do that. Whatever it is, at least it's a name. This is a family name. It's not something that will just, whatever happens, there are ways to go about it. Lawyers, the court issues, whatever, not to take laws into his hands. Now it's actually denting on his image. So it's really a bad one.
It's true that the police officers have been doing a whole lot. Like, they've been doing a lot that we don't even know. Maybe this one came up because Seun Kuti is actually a celebrity. We don't really know how it's been. I'm sure they've been assaulting others. But for him slapping, I really don't know if it's as a result of his temper or, like he said, he's scared that they actually want to murder him or his family, which I really don't know. But it was actually wrong if the police had actually reacted carelessly. It's one thing to do something wrong, and it's another thing to actually apologize. So it depends on the reaction the policeman had actually given him immediately after he did that. Except if he had, started claiming rights. Most people, they hit people and start claiming rights that you did this, you did that. So, but if he had actually done that and Seun Kuti still went ahead to slap him, I felt there would have been a better way to have resolved the issue instead of just going ahead and slapping. Although sometimes, they deserve it with some of the things they do, because they can actually be rude and, they don't think about the welfare of people sometimes.
The thing is, we live in a society these days that will feel everything is right. Yeah, because we look at people up there, we feel if they can do this and they get away with it, then I can do it. So, people check their background. my dad was more like a warlord, this, that, and I can do this and get away with it. We see many at times, you see a road safety officer being harassed, and also we see road safety officers harassing persons. Like the other one I saw trending, a guy, the road safety officer on the bonnet of the car, and the guy was driving away with it. You understand? Similar thing happened, the popular help me, they carry me, they go where I don't know. It happened in Benin, you understand? These are things we see every day. So taking the laws into your hands is never the right thing to do. There are channels to go. You understand? It paints the masses black. It paints the masses black with the act that Seun Kuti did. You know, if you still follow the trend now, you see a whole lot of pictures, videos coming up, and there's this incident of a guy was beaten, I think 2 days ago, by some cops in Lagos. He got a broken hand, injured on the forehead. So there are ways to do these things. It seems like when one thing happened, will I say it's for good or bad, but I think Seun Kuti did the wrong thing. But in a way, it's coming out being good now because everybody is speaking up. All eyes are on the cops that if you can prosecute this person within 24 hours or 48 hours, your cops are out there doing these things. Why can't you prosecute them as well? So I'm not saying Seun Kuti did the right thing. He has submitted himself, but putting him, someone who came submissively and you are putting him in cuffs is a wrong thing and it's not advisable. It's more like you're making him feel he's a criminal, to the extent of going to his house to ransack it. What are you looking for? This is just an assault that happened on the highway. And this guy submitted himself. Why going to his house, harassing his family and all that, just trying to make a case? Maybe there has been some bad blood between them and they just want to make a big story. Who knows if everything is being cooked up? This is Nigeria, anything can happen.
Moving on, but on a very sad note. Just very recently, 57-year-old Obi Nawafo, popularly known as Saint Obi, who was regarded as one of the most talented and finest actors, passed away after a prolonged illness. Reports claim that he died on Sunday, May 6, 2023, in the home of one of his siblings. Obi, who was born on November 16, 1965, made significant contributions to the Nigerian film industry after shooting into limelight in the year 1996. And in 2001, Obi ventured into film production with his first movie titled Take Me to Mama. He featured in movies such as State of Emergency, Candlelight, Sakobi, and so on. Reactions. One of the best acting talent Nigeria ever had. Another reaction. Terrible news. The darling of our screens those days. And the next reaction. Not a good news at all. Rest in peace, sir. Still on Nollywood tragedy, popular Nollywood Yoruba actor Murphy Afolabi has reportedly passed away. The 49-year-old talented movie star was said to have fallen in his bathroom in the early hours of Sunday, 14th May 2023, therefore leading to his death. The actor was buried on May 15th at his Ikorodu residence in Lagos. Another tragic one for same Nollywood. Barely hours after losing Saint Obi and Murphy Afolabi, Nollywood has been hit with another tragedy as actor Chikezie Owazi passed on after a brain surgery in the US. All this has actually caused lots of reaction on the social media, and someone said, God, I beg, console these families. This is indeed a sad time for the Nigerian film industry. From Media Trend, we sympathize with these families and Nollywood as well.
Losing Saint Obi was really a tragic incident, and it wasn't funny at all. It wasn't nice because I miss his movies, his old movies, especially that Nkenke Obing or something like that. So I miss his movies so much, and I wish him rest in peace. I pray he rest in the bosom of the Lord, and I pray we have more people that can act like him or more than him in the film industry.
Saint Obi is more like, childhood memories and everything. We remember the State of Emergency and the rest. Saint Obi was more like the Nigeria Rambo, like the Nigeria James Bond and everything, and every child would just want to have that, mimic that Saint Obi character. You know, Saint Obi it's been quite an inspiration. He was outspoken, he lived a well-meaning life, but coming to this latter end of his life, which he has been off the scene for long, reading the stories and all that, there's an underline of having been suffering an ailment for a while. So, well, so God be the glory, is no more. He lived an exemplary life. I did some research. I wanted seeing what's been wrong with him all this while, as in be suffering, all that. I saw his country home, how well lavish, furnished it is, and the guy lived a life. Yeah, not just on the scene, he lived a life here on earth. Oh, it's a good thing, although it's a life well spent but gone too soon.
Honestly, I really don't know what's going on in the Nollywood industry. I sat down, I was even discussing with my friends, my colleague, and I was like, in less than 3 days, and we had about 3 deaths from the Nollywood industry, which is bad. Like, it's really, really bad. We really don't know. I'm not someone who relates things to the spiritual aspect, but that's really bad for the Nollywood industry. Like, for 3 actors, I'm not really familiar with the other two, but at least for Saint Obi, it's bad. Like, I just wish Nollywood actually keep up with themselves and, do more. I feel sorry for the family of those that actually died. It's not easy on them, but I just pray that God will help them to, recover the loss.
If it's Saint, I can only speak for Saint Obi because I know him very well. I can remember all his movies. When I heard of it on social media, I was shocked. I thought it's normal rumor. So I like, okay, I'm not, let me not conclude until I got from a verified source and connections. So I was like, wow, it's a bad one. Though I read 1 or 2 stories about him and his marriage, which is none of my business, but maybe that was what led to the whole, because along the line, what I read, he couldn't have custody of his kids. It's a very painful one. Nollywood has lost another great legend, I must say. Yes, even if he went out of the film industry for a while, we were looking out for him. It's a bad one. We pray God will help his family to bear the fortunes and all that, and strengthen every other person like us that care about him. And may you so rest in perfect peace.
I mean, growing up, Saint Obi, I watched his movies a lot until I turned like 18. I was like, Nollywood was not really giving that spice anymore again. The actors like Saint Obi, we have Pete Edochie, we have Osofia and stuff like that. The newer generations, yeah, they're trying, but we're not really seeing that spice that was there when we were watching Nigerian movies. So now we're just diverting into, watching Hollywood movies, Bollywood, we are watching Korean movies, K-pops and stuff. They need to put in more effort into investing in the youths so that they can bring up talent. My message to the family is they should accept my condolence on behalf of the whole Nigeria, because it's not easy losing a legend like that. Someone who has been an inspiration for many actresses and actors in the industry today. He was a big inspiration. So I know it's a big blow, but they should accept our condolences. I feel their pain. As a family, as a son, because he's old enough to be my father at the same time. So he's like a mentor to me. So I really appreciate what he has done over the years, and I just pray someone like him will come by again to take Nollywood into the next level.
Right now, we will go on a break, and when we come back, you will have more interesting stories come your way. Stand by. Welcome back. You are still watching Media Trend, and before we went on that break, we had the stories of Hilda Bassi, Shehu Kuti, and the actors who passed on recently in Nollywood. We'll move on to the next story. The first child and the only daughter of Yul Edochie has yanked off her father's name as family brouhaha continues amid the continuous online and offline drama. Yul Edochie's daughter, Daniela's Instagram bio shows that it has been edited and her father's name yanked off. Still on the Edochie saga, in a viral video, Rita Edochie displayed her relentless mission to deal with those who have continued to make life unbearable for Yul Edochie's first wife, May, as she charged powerful prayers against them. Wahoo! Every dragon on assignment to destroy May shall be devoured by the Holy Ghost fire thunder. Well, another netizen added in the prayer, Amala, this kind in-law person to pray for.
This is more like a family affair, you understand? So the girl removing her surname, it's nothing. We have so many persons out there today who doesn't. Okay, take for example the Joker Silva, and we have Olu Jacobs. So where's the Olu in Joker Silva's name? So it's no big deal. You understand? Removing her name does not stop the father from still footing her bills. The father is still going to pay her fees and everything. So removing the name does not stop her from being an Edoche or whatsoever. She's just trying to express anger, which must have been cooking up in her head. It's more like a solidarity movement in support of the mom. You understand? So Rita Edoche supporting her is more like she's just trying to play a family figure, more like a mother figure. This shouldn't happen. Well, it has happened. They should deal with it and settle it amicably. Owing to the fact that this guy just lost the son not very long, all this shouldn't be coming up. They should sit together as a family. The Edoche family is a very respected family, and I believe they can sort this out among themselves. So why the social media frenzy?
It's really a lot, especially for a young girl of that age. You know, the social media is actually a very heavy place because it's a whole lot. I'm sure aside she would have gotten a lot of attacks and the whole thing about her dad, and it's really painful. Forget she's actually a celebrity, but it's really painful for her mentally. Let's forget our social world. It's going to be really heavy for her mentally because her thinking of the fact that her dad is actually getting married to someone else, especially in the entertainment industry, and she actually just lost her brother, which is really painful, and that's someone she actually grew up with. So I don't know if it's enough reason to remove her surname, but I would really say it's a whole lot of pain on her. So maybe she felt the best way was to detach herself from the family, which I don't know if she can actually keep with, or the family is actually going to go with, especially her mom.
I'm not going to pretend like I know about everything going within their family and stuff. So she deciding to remove her name from the family's this thing is her own decision, and for me deciding to support her is like their family, like within their own family this thing. So I'm not going to say I understand everything that's going on, but as for you getting a second wife, well, I won't say I can't say I support him in person, like getting a second wife, because this is somebody you've been with your wife over the years, and you deciding to just go off and get another wife. It's going to create a turn in that family. Basically, we all know that once you start thinking of bringing another wife into the house where your first wife is, not as if your wife is already late or something, she's still alive, healthy and everything, and you decide to go get another wife, there are going to be controversies in that family, leading to his daughter removing her name from the family legacy and stuff like that. So I'm not in support of whatever he's doing, because it's just going to dig a hole into that family and it will tear them apart.
You won't blame her. She's been through a lot, losing her brother, and a lot is on her head already. A lot. She's a teenager. You won't blame her. Maybe with time she'll come back. But her removing the name, she is supposed to consider more and think more of the future, not just now removing her name, because her name is her name, and blood is blood.
Right from day one, their family has been having so many controversial issues and all that. So I'm not surprised if even after now something happens again. Well, she has, it depends, I don't know her age. If she's 18, she has every right to do whatever she wants to do. Yes, she has every right. The reason best known to her. If I were in her shoes, and depending on the consequence of what it is, just not to dent the family image, at least I could just separate. It's like, I see it like separating herself from the family. For the fact that we are in the society of Nigerian society, it's a bad one. But let's not drag her, let's not throw the baby at the bathwater. Let's know the reasons why she did what she did. It might be she's just trying to keep her sanity in check to help her, So I feel everyone is entitled to do whatever he or she pleases, as long as it will make the person happy. So for the sake of her happiness, I'm good. It's her choice.
This particular gist we're taking last. Wahoo. A Nigerian woman, Elizabeth Ekpo, got married to her female lover, Crystal, in New Orleans, Los Angeles, in the United States. A sister to one of the brides shared pictures from the wedding on her Facebook page. She wrote, "My baby sister Crystal got married to the love of her life, Dr. Elizabeth Epo, this past weekend in Nola. I gained an additional sister, Liz. I wish both of you happiness and joy forever. Congratulations. I love you all, always." Well, let's comment our reserve. I will reserve our comments. Which one, safe?
Honestly speaking, I really don't know what the world is turning into. And to think that they're actually Nigerians who happen to go get married in the US, I don't know. It's an error for me. I really don't know what people think with this their, what do you call it? I can't even place something, but that's a very big error for crying out loud. 2 women all the way from Nigeria traveled as far as US to go get married in the US, especially wearing their traditional attire. That's even the annoying part. That was really bad. It's an error to me. Like, that's a 0 point. That's bad.
I see. Basically, there's a trend going on now where people wanting to travel out, and they want to cheat the system, because the system now, what the US are putting out there is that you can marry your same gender and all that. So the system where the format Nigerians are using now is, okay, since we are friends and want to get visa to get into US and stuff like that, let's just get married to each other. Because I mean, if we go to the embassy and say we are married together, they are not going to stop us, because it's among their rules and regulations. It's within their laws. So I feel that's what's going on right now. Because in Nigeria, you can't come and tell me you just go and get married to your... You see a lot of fine guys out there and you just say, no, I want to get married to Tessie. No. So that's my take on it. Basically, they are just using it as a way of just traveling out there and just settling before things get too rowdy.
People have their own perspective of thinking and their own ways. We all human have different thinking. So them marrying abroad, I think it's just their choice. I know it's not in our own way, but I think it's just their choice. It's their choice.
2 Nigerian women getting married in Los Angeles, well, they say if you're in Rome, you do as the Romans do. Maybe they see themselves as more of the Americans than the Nigerians. You understand? Because I don't think they will do that in Nigeria. Well, they decide to take themselves there, or maybe they have been there. They decide to do it there. It's not just that. I saw another Nigerian girl who was being proposed to by a white guy. You understand? So they're taking it out there. They feel that is what they should do. Well, I can't really say I'm in the right position to castigate them or make a judgment onto them, but in quote, if the law there permits them to do it, well, let them do it there. If the law here don't permit them, they can't come here and do it. I'm just sorry that it's quite unfortunate for them, though. It's quite unfortunate that they choose that path.
It hurts pretty bad to say goodbye at this point, but that wouldn't stop me from appreciating you for being my company. Hope to do this again with you, same time and same place next week. I remain Euphemia Ijoma, and this is me saying thank you for watching Media Trend on ARCN TV, and bye.